We are in the final part of a 4-part series, introducing Apelles' painting Campaspe, by Willem van Hecht. A quick recap. In part 1, we covered the main event in the foreground, as well as the first 4 paintings in the upper left corner. In part 2, we discussed the remaining paintings on the left side of the main wall, as well as the ones on the floor, in the foreground. And in part 3, we covered the wall on the right side, except the last 2 paintings at the top left corner. Today, we will finish those 2 paintings, as well as the ones that we could see from the inner room. So let's get started. This painting at the very top is The Bean Eaters, by Vincenzo Campi. Vincenzo is an Italian painter, best known as one of the first Italian artists to work in the Flemish style of realist genre. In other words, instead of painting grand, elaborate, magnificent artwork about Greek mythology or Bible stories, he spent a lot of his energies on everyday men and ordinary life. He seems to be particularly fond of the family in this painting. The couple and their baby were the stars of several of his other works. Like this one, Pescivendoli. Or this one, The Fishmongers. The painting beneath it is Roman Warrior in Armor and Kneeling Servant, by Bernard van Orley. After many hours of meticulous research, I've come to the conclusion that this painting depicts a Roman warrior in armor and a kneeling servant. So let's just move on. Now we will travel to the next room, the inner hall. To better visualize the artworks there, I will use a zoomed-in picture from now on. The paintings in this room are too small to identify the exact source. But several of them, we can tell the subject matter. For example, the top right painting is the one-eyed giant Polyphemus, throwing a giant rock. In Homer's Odyssey, after the Trojan War, Odysseus and his men are traveling to get home, when they landed on Polyphemus Island. The one-eyed Cyclops trapped them in a cave, and started eating the men, 2 at a time. Odysseus offered him some wine, and when asked about his name, told the giant that his name is Nobody. Polyphemus got drunk, and Odysseus blinded his only eye with a wooden stick. When Polyphemus shouted in pain, his fellow Cyclopes asked what had happened. Polyphemus answered, "Nobody has hurt me." The next morning, since Polyphemus would let the sheep to go out of the cave but will stop the men, Odysseus motioned everyone to each tie themselves to the undersides of a sheep. The blind Polyphemus used his hands to feel each outgoing sheep's back, not knowing the men are escaping. At the end, when he knew he was cheated, he hauled a big rock in Odysseus' direction, nearly wrecking his ship. Skipping one that I do not recognize, this third one from the right, is Perseus saving Andromeda. All the key characters are here: a naked girl tied to a rock by the sea, a hero on a flying horse, ready to fight a monster. It's a famous Greek story. Andromeda was a beautiful princess, and her mother wouldn't stop boasting about it. This angered the sea god Poseidon, who sent a monster to wreak havoc in the kingdom. The king and queen tied the poor princess to a rock by the ocean, hoping to sacrifice Andromeda in exchange for peace. Perseus was just on his way home, after the Medusa adventure. He fought the monster, and saved the princess, and they lived happily ever after. Moving to the next row, this painting is obviously the binding of Isaac, from Genesis 22. The old men with the blue coat and holding the sword is Abraham, while the young men kneeling on the altar is Isaac, his only legitimate son. By God's command, Abraham is ready to sacrifice the only son that's living with him, while at the last minute, he is stopped by the angel of the Lord, whom is the flying guy with wings. A ram appears, and is slaughtered in place of Isaac. We have finally come to the last painting that I recognize in this room. although very fuzzy, I do believe this artwork is about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, from Genesis 19. The residents living in these two cities had become too evil and wicked, and God sent two angels to destroy them. However, the angels took Lot's family, the only righteous and God-fearing family, out, and told them to flee to the hills and not look back. Then God rains sulfur and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah, killing all the inhabitants of the cities. Lot's wife looked back, and is turned into salt. Lot and his two daughters were saved. At last, spending no less than 4 videos, we have finally covered all the paintings that I know in this great artwork by Willem van Hecht. I want to express my sincere gratitude to anyone who has taken this long journey with me. So thank you very much, and until next time, au revoir.